The secret is how to articulate goals under a three-dimensional framework. In this episode, I'm going to address how to set SMART goals for the best chance of success. This is for New Year's resolutions or any goals that you have, a vision for your brighter future. Get ready. So my name's Doug Andrew, and I've been helping people do this exercise now for decades. Many people approach me close to retirement because they want to sort of get ready to reposition assets and not outlive their money, because I'm usually perceived as a financial strategist and a tax minimization specialist. But the reason why many people are attracted is because I approach things from a three-dimensional viewpoint instead of just the financial dimension. I'm helping people redefine themselves at retirement and make sure they don't have to worry about their money being eroded away with the negative impact of taxes, inflation, and market volatility, but also how to be able to do the things they really love doing and empowering those they care about, their children and grandchildren, in all three dimensions of authentic wealth, so that you're leaving behind the knowledge, attitude, skills, and habits instead of dumping a bunch of money in their lap, like dumping fish in their lap instead of teaching them how to fish. Now, one of the game-changing concepts that I teach is how to set goals, and we do this on family vacations with a purpose. My wife and I do this with our 20 grandchildren at our annual Grandpa's Camp. A tradition is every December to do this in our living room to set goals for the next year. So on this channel, I have several episodes that talk about this, and this one is part 2 of understanding how to set goals the smart way. So here we go. When I do this exercise with my family, my clients, my students, I usually print out an 11 by 17 sheet like this called the clarity statement. And you can do this on a blank sheet of paper, or if you decide to enroll and learn this in a course, you'll have the PDF to do this. But just take really good notes and you'll see how powerful this is. So this is the framework, and I'm going to talk about this portion right here in this episode. Now, what I have covered in another episode is how to be able to be in the right state of mind so that when you're filling this out, you're writing down what has to have happened in your life during the last year, okay? Because you're projecting your mind to a year from now. If we were meeting a year from now or 3 years from now, looking back over that 3 years to today, what has to have happened in your life in these 3 areas for you to be happy with the progress you made, okay? And I explained that in another episode. Now, we're talking about the financial dimension of your life, the foundational and intellectual. This one here in the middle is what we call the KASH, the cash fund. That's knowledge, attitude, skills, and habits, and what we must contribute back to society. And so it's learning how to be wealthy, healthy, and wise, how to live, love, learn, give, and earn. And this is how we set our goals. So in this format, when I give them this sheet, I have them label this one financial, this one foundational, and this one intellectual. This one I say, I want you to write down how you're going to give back to society, not just money, but the causes that you want to give your time to, your talents to, and your money, how to redirect otherwise payable taxes to causes you support with charitable contributions and what have you, okay? So this is the format, this is the framing. Now, whenever I get ready to do this, people say, well, give me some examples of what you're talking about. Now, if you don't understand every one of these statements, hopefully you will want to read a copy of a book I'm going to gift you at the end of this episode so that you'll understand these if they're a little bit vague. So we start out, and I usually give people 7 or 8 minutes, and I want to make sure they have 3 or 4 accomplishments in every one of these 3 dimensions, and then they can finish filling it out later. But normally when we do this with a family on Grandpa's Camp or a family retreat with a purpose in Maui, I will give them 15 minutes to fill out this form. It's quiet time. So for example, over here in the financial category, they're writing in past tense, and it's usually things like this, okay? 60% of our retirement income is now tax-free, which is what we do with the laser fund. We have fully funded our laser funds, meaning that they're all ready to go and they can start taking out tax-free income. They've complied with IRS guidelines. We are positioned to outpace inflation. Inflation is not going to erode away their purchasing power. They're going to outpace inflation. We're immune from market volatility because of a strategy called indexing. We can live on less than what we earn, okay? We've protected our assets and have established our family bank. That's a conceptual bank, not a charter bank like down the street. This is a legacy bank. Our assets have been optimized and our taxes have been minimized. Yeah, we've drastically reduced the amount of taxes that they're going to pay, and many times we save people $800,000, $1 million of unnecessary tax. In my books, you'll read stories about school teachers that we saved $250,000. Real estate investors and landlords, we saved $750,000. A husband and wife, both physicians, a couple, we saved them $1.2 million. We have a couple in California. We took them from the highest tax bracket to a 0% tax bracket in 5 years. And so this is why they're writing down goals like this. We feel secure is what they're saying over here financially. Now, they don't have to write all of these down first. They can go back and forth. When we get down here to the foundational, some of the things they may write down are bullet pointed here. We hold an annual grandpa's camp. That's one of my favorite topics that people want to start as a tradition in their family. We have a family values and vision document. This is like an ethical will, because I assure you, your kids will not read your trust, except one page that says how much they get. But I show you how to be able to leave behind a values and vision document that they will read and reread, watch and rewatch for generations. And I can show you how to do that. We conduct annual family retreats with a purpose. I have a video on this channel that talks about how to do that. We are in excellent health, eating right and exercising. We feel closer to God, and we have multiplied our talents in music or public speaking or whatever, because I talk about multiplying your talents like Matthew chapter 25 or Luke 19 in the New Testament. We've captured our family memories and researched our ancestors. We have established our equal opportunity trust instead of equal distribution with rules of governance. This is a big one that a lot of people write down once they learn this. We've captured knowledge, attitude, skills, and habits. We've created predictable systems. So if this is intriguing you, these are some of the goals that people write down once they've been through this 6-hour Retire by Design workshop. Now, when we get over here to the intellectual, before I share those with you, let me say this. If this is already intriguing you, you have no idea how much of a game-changing concept this is to set your goals, your New Year's resolutions using this format. You'll see the power behind this. And so if this is resonating with you, and you can think of somebody you want to share this with, be sure and share, post a comment, click like. But more important than anything, subscribe. It's free, and when you do, click that little bell so that you'll be notified every time I post a new educational video, which I do almost on a daily basis. But I have over 500 educational videos like this, and I want you to search some of these topics like family vacations with a purpose or equal opportunity trust, and you'll understand what I'm talking about here. And as you do, then you'll be empowered. But stay with me here to the end, because I want to gift you a copy of my book, Entitlement, Abolition, or the Laser Fund. Okay. Now, in the intellectual dimension, they write down goals, and notice these are all in past tense because their mindset is it's a year from now, or it's 3 years from today, and we're looking back what has to have happened, and so you have to begin with the end result in mind. We have impeccable industry reputations. Okay. We have advanced degrees in our fields. They've continued to get education. We travel to new countries every single year. That's experiences. We read and study a good book weekly. My wife and I do that, and we share. We've developed predictable systems for our family. You'll understand what that is when you read my book. We've established 4 generational retreats, or traditions that we have that will go on into perpetuity. This is very powerful, and so many people will have that as a goal. We formed 3 strategic alliances in our business or our profession. We are proficient in genealogy or ancestral research or what have you. We've joined Toastmasters to be able to speak and overcome our fear of public speaking or whatever. So you're writing down what you've done over here in the intellectual dimension, and you're writing it in past tense, but see, you're writing it as if it's already happened, because this is very empowering when you begin to visualize this. And it's amazing when you begin to write these things down, you'll hesitate at first, and then the pen will start to flow, and you'll get super clear, and you will get energized. Whenever I ask people, so as you wrote that down, how many of you felt more and more energized the clearer you got about your future? And everybody raises their hands. And I'm going, yeah. Well, I'm going to show you the difference and the contrast between this approach versus just hoping that next year is a better year, because most people break their New Year's resolutions by February. Now, in the middle here, give. Maybe your time, volunteer at your church. Maybe teach troubled youth. My wife and I mentor troubled youth at crisis centers. I'm on a board for teenage suicide prevention. My wife volunteers at the Christmas box for children who are in protective custody because they've been in abusive homes usually. And donate. One of our favorite is the humanitarian fund, where we can donate to causes. And we also in our family donate to the multiple sclerosis, the Kidney Foundation, the Cancer Society, and on and on and on. This is all part of our family bank. So that's your give. Now, once you do all of this, you will begin to feel energized because you're writing it down in past tense as if it's already happened, and you begin to feel this. And this is a game changer. Now, if this has resonated with you, be sure and watch the third step of this episode, and that's where you bring this all together in what is called the clarity statement. But if you've got to go, please claim your copy of this book. Simply go to entitlementabolitionbook.com. You contribute a nominal amount towards the shipping and handling, and I'll cover the rest of that expense, and I'll pay for the book and fire out a copy to you. And there's options there to listen and learn, watch and learn. There's even an 18-hour masterclass, but you can get that for 20 cents on the dollar when you see the various virtual events that we teach, usually on a monthly basis. And the one that I teach this concept is called Retire by Design, where I actually take people through on the very last 30 minutes and do this clarity experience. Also, you'll have the opportunity to claim a copy of my financial book, The Laser Fund, by going to laserfund.com. So my invitation to you is to claim your free copy of these books, empower yourself, register and join us for an online event, Retire by Design, and then you'll have substantial discounts and access to courses like the 18-hour masterclass for the Laser Fund and another one on entitlement abolition. And this will be the beginning of your brighter future, I assure you.